Are we on? It says live. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Christina.
And I'm Chelsea.
I feel like we should be doing like something with our fingers. I'm not sure. So we have our Book of Mormon here and our little notebook. Okay. So we are going to do chapter 5. Do you want to read any?
Sure. Do I just start from end?
So you just, do the one verse.
One person watched us. And it came to pass that after we had to come down into the wilderness unto our father, behold, he was filled with joy.
And
your verse.
It's still the same verse.
I can't read in front of it.
He was filled with joy, and also my mother Sarah was brain fart. Exceedingly glad, for she truly had mourned because of. So, verse 1, it just sounds like after they had come down, they went back into the wilderness to their father, Lehi. He was filled with joy, and my mother, Sarah, was glad. So they were both glad that Nephi and them made it back home. Okay, so they made it back home, and she's already had the session that she was sad that they did not come back home. So now this is the time that she's like, hey, we're happy now. Okay, verse 2. For she had supposed that we had perished into the wilderness, and she had also complained against my father, telling him that he was a visionary man, saying, behold, thou hast led us forth from the land of our inheritance, and my son are no more, and we perish into the wilderness. So do you have anything to say on that one?
I feel like it's kind of like a wilder one. It's like they're kind of like in the woods, maybe.
Yes. So so the mom, Sarah, it's fine. So the mom's, can we leave it alone, please? Sorry. So the mom said that she did think before that they had perished. So she thought that her sons died out in the forest. She complained to the dad, telling him, like, you said that you were a visionary man. You let my sons go, and now they are dead. So she thought that they had died. So verse 3, and after this manner of language had my mother complained against my father. So what does that mean? Somebody's in the doghouse. But really, it just says she complained, not to just complain. She was sad because she wasn't sure if she trusted what Lehi said that he saw in his vision, that she didn't know if her sons were going to ever return back to them, or if somebody was going to kill them because they were prophets and people knew them as the prophets. So back then, prophets, they were like, hey, let's kill them. So she didn't know what kind of bad things were going to happen, or if Lehi did actually see and hear things from God saying that he wanted them to go get those brass plates. So verse 4, and it came to pass that my father spoke unto her, saying, I know that I am a visionary man. For if I had not seen the things of God in a vision, I should not have known the goodness of God, but had tarried at Jerusalem and had perished with my brethren. So what does that mean? That means, like, my father told my mother, I know I'm a visionary man, and if I did not see something, we just did that one. So if I did not see something good, I wouldn't have sent my sons out into the wilderness. But Heavenly Father let me see some good, and I knew that the outcome was going to be obviously good. So I knew everything was going to be good. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
No.
Do you want to read verse 5?
Yeah. But behold, I have obtained a land of promise, in which things I do rejoice, and I know that the Lord will deliver my son out of the hands of Laban, and bring them down again unto us in the wilderness.
That's it. So that was verse 5. Do you got anything that you want to say out of that?
No.
So verse 5, it is basically just saying, hey, I have this land of promise. I know Heavenly Father will deliver my sons out of the hands of Laban or anything bad. So, and that Heavenly Father will bring my sons home. But you have to remember that Nephi wrote all these after he came back to the promised land. So at this point in verse 5, he does not have or obtain a land of promise yet. So that was when he was writing it, but he didn't actually have it until after. Okay. Verse 6. And after this manner of language did my father Lehi comfort my mother Sarah concerning us while we journeyed into the wilderness up to the land of Jerusalem to obtain the records of the Jews. So what is this talking about? My father Lehi comforted my mother Sarah. He put her fears to rest.
So like no more fears.
Yes.
They've gone to bed, kind of. They've took a rest.
Okay, so do you want to read verse 7?
Okay. And when we had returned to the tent of my father, behold, their joy was full. Their joy was full. And my mother was comforted.
Okay, so like verse 6, Lehi took his wife's criticism and used it to explain why they were experiencing these things. Verse 7, he was just saying, we returned to wildness to my father's tent. They were so happy. My mother was finally comforted in knowing that the sons were home, that they are alive, that they're no longer dead. So get those bad memories out of your brain. Okay. Verse 8. And she spake, saying, now I know of certainty that the Lord hath commanded my husband to flee into the wilderness. And I also know of certainty that the Lord hath protected my sons and delivered them out of the hands of Laban and given them the power whereby they could accomplish the things which the Lord had commanded them. And after this manner of language did she speak. So verse 8, there's a lot going on in this verse. So they are actually doing a testimony in this one. So let's see. My mother spoke, saying, I know that the Lord had commanded my husband to flee from the wilderness. I know that the God had protected my sons and helped deliver them out of the hands of Laban. And anything bad, God had given them the power so he could do the things which Heavenly Father had instructed them to do. So they could accomplish what they had to do. She knows Heavenly Father commanded all of this. And then let's see here. Lehi even said that he had to put her fears to rest by bearing his testimony that what he had seen is true and Heavenly Father is true. Okay, so verse 9. You want to read that one?
Yeah. And it came to pass.
Okay, somebody's phoning. We will leave it at that and we will be back on after.